Hi, welcome to the very first episode of Permission to Organise with me, Amy, and Organiser Academy. I am so excited to kick this off by talking about the number one thing I see stopping professional organisers from getting fully booked, even the ones who are brilliant at what they do. If you've been wondering why you're not attracting enough of the right clients, or if you've been quietly panicking that this is never going to happen for you, then you need to hear this. But before we dive in, if you're new to me or Pro Organiser Academy, you're going to be new to the podcast because it's brand new. But let me tell you a bit about what I do and why. So I'm Amy, also known as Amy the Space Creator on my main Instagram account. And I'm the UK's most sought after and highly recommended business and mindset coach for professional organisers. I've built 2 successful brands from scratch, my decluttering business, The Space Creator, and Pro Organiser Academy, the go-to place for organisers who want to get fully booked, scale their income, and stop relying solely on in-home clients. I also help aspiring organisers to set up and launch their businesses in the most efficient, optimised way so that they can hit profitability faster. I run essentially 2 businesses, 2 brands. The Space Creator, which I started because I loved helping women transform their homes and lives through decluttering, improving their mental health, strengthening their relationships, helping them to live more sustainably, and ultimately guiding them into the highest version of themselves. But somewhere along the way, I also fell head over heels for the business and marketing side of things. I didn't expect that. I didn't start out thinking I'd be obsessed with marketing funnels, scalable offers, or client acquisition psychology. But other organisers kept asking me how I'd got fully booked and how I'd grown on Instagram. So in 2022, Pro Organiser Academy was also born because I just can't help myself, giving myself so much to do. And my mission here, though, is pretty big. I want to help pro organisers get fully booked, create scalable offers, and make more of an impact. Because the more organisers who are thriving in business, the more homes and lives get transformed, right? And that has a ripple effect. Happier people, better mental health, stronger relationships, and less waste going to landfill. I don't believe in competition or scarcity. There are more than enough clients to go around. So I'm not here to gatekeep. If I can help you build a business that you absolutely love, that gives you freedom, flexibility, and income, then we all win. But why should you listen to me? Well, I've done exactly what you're trying to do, literally. And I've done it in your industry, right? In our industry, not some vague online business or just generic business bubble. I've taken the Space Creator from 0 to fully booked and then taken it into the online world as well. I've built scalable offers in my own professional organising business, sold them, delivered them, and coached other organisers through the exact same journey, from finding their very first client to selling their first virtual declutter coaching program. I've coached and mentored over 100 organisers, helping them to 2 times, 3 times, and even 6 times their monthly income. I've helped them quit jobs they hated, create group programs to leverage their time, launch digital products, and get fully booked months in advance. And yes, I've done all that without PR, TV, celebrity clients promoting me, or millions of followers. My Pro Organiser Academy account on Instagram has less than 1,000 followers. I think it's around 900 or something like that. And it still generates consistent high income months. And the Space Creator has over 30,000 followers, built organically. And I teach exactly how to make your marketing and offers work without needing an influencer level audience. But I didn't always have this business, the clients, courses, waitlists, thousands of followers. Just 5 years ago, I was stuck in a job that literally bored me to tears, dealing with the office politics, dreaming of being my own boss. At 28, mid-pandemic, I got made redundant from that job, and I thought, okay, great, this is it. It's my time. The moment I'd finally start my business that I had thought about literally 10 years before that, but of course, did absolutely nothing with because, all the excuses under the sun. But of course, I panicked and I got another job, which turned out to be absolutely horrendous. And I lasted 3 months until one day I had absolutely had enough. I was boiled over and I literally just quit on the spot with no notice. I just left. I walked out. Well, I was actually working from home at that point, but I just quit. And I was like, I'm done. I will tell you the full story in another episode. I'm sure it's probably already somewhere in the online world. I don't know. But that was the moment I kind of really went all in. And from there, I built my first website from scratch with zero budget. Well, a small bit just to pay for the hosting and things like that, but a tiny redundancy payout to live off and a determination to just absolutely make it work. And to be fair, within about 3 months, I was fully booked. And fast forward to today, I have scaled into a 6-figure business. I've become the coach that professional organisers turn to when they're ready to grow. My diary is booked up months in advance with results-driven referral-led work. And I have made every single mistake under the sun and learned from them all so my clients don't have to. I've invested tens of thousands into learning, strategy, marketing, sales psychology, and self-concept work. And I've tested literally every single thing possible in this industry with real clients. No generic fluff, no recycled Instagram tips from a random business influencer. But there's a lot more to my why and my story before I ever started the Space Creator. And I will dive deeper into that in a later episode. If you don't know me, then you don't know. You might be interested in that. But for now, just know that everything I teach you here comes from building this business, walking through the fire, and coming out with the strategies, mindset shifts, and receipts to back it all up. And in line with today's topic, I don't even have an intro or outro recorded for this podcast yet, because I'm practicing exactly what I preach, getting it out into the world without waiting for absolute perfection. Now, I want to kick off with something I see stopping so many organisers from getting fully booked. It's something I've been through myself. When I first started, I literally went all in. Like, I didn't have any kids. My partner at the time worked late every night, and I could literally work whenever I wanted to, and I did. I was obsessed. A lot of that time, though, was spent learning, researching, and yes, of course, taking action. But honestly, I wasted hours trying to be a complete perfectionist about things that actually really did not matter. I was hustling so hard, working all the hours because I wanted to get fully booked fast, which I did in under 3 months. But I absolutely did it the hard way. Oh my God. Like, so much of the time I spent, I probably did not need to spend at all. So many of the things I did back then, I think, oh my God, what was I even doing? Like, just literal busy work. And that's why I help organisers now to get fully booked in a way that feels so much easier, calmer, and far more sustainable as well. Because I'm not being funny, like, a lot of people have partners or kids, and they probably wouldn't be like overly enamored if you just literally worked until midnight every single night and ignored them. But, you know, I guess now at least I still do that a bit, and there's some benefits of being single. But anyway, I digress. And anyway, if you're listening to this thinking, yes, but Amy, I'm a perfectionist, I just want everything to be right before I put it out there, this episode is for you. Because you can have the most beautiful website, the most polished branding, and the most strategic content plan in the entire world, and it still won't mean that you're fully booked tomorrow. You can decide that you're the go-to expert in your area, but it takes time for the rest of the world to catch up, right? It takes time for your message to ripple, for your name to stick, and for people to think of you the moment they hear, I need help organising my home. And here's the thing, perfectionism slows you down massively. I am still guilty of this if I'm not careful. The level of attention to detail that I have is extreme. Like, I mean, it's borderline. Well, it's very problematic, I would say. This is a bit deeper. I do also have ADHD, but I think I'm a highly sensitive person as well. I don't know. I notice absolutely everything. But if I let myself, I can spend half an hour tweaking the spacing in an email, making sure every bold and italic is just so. I could easily lose hours making a PDF look absolutely immaculate. And yes, it might be beautiful, but will it get me booked or generate revenue? Probably not. And it's also something I can outsource, but let's not get out into outsourcing today. And this is the same for you, right? Reformatting a PDF for the third time because you want every box to line up exactly, even though your client who's getting it literally won't care. They just want the transformation, right? Not everyone has the extreme attention to detail that I have, or maybe you do. So, you know, we don't need to do that. Obsessing over whether your opt-in button on your website should be pink or green when no one is even clicking on it yet because they don't even know you exist. Spending an afternoon looking for the perfect free stock image on Canva or Pexels to use on a blog post when you could have just posted it with a photo that you already had so that potential clients can actually read it. deciding you can't possibly share that video because your hair's gone a bit flat. And the truth is, right, these things feel like work, but really they're just procrastination dressed up as productivity. And they keep you in your safe working zone, right? Without doing the stuff that actually moves the needle, that brings in the money, that gets the clients, the income producing activities. It's not that details don't matter, they do. But if perfecting something means you're delaying sending the email, publishing the post, launching the offer, following up with that client, whatever it is, when it's not going to make any life-changing difference, then you're not in business mode, you're in busy mode. Done is better than perfect when the alternative is hiding behind tasks that make you feel good, but don't make a single dent in your bank account or your business. So to give you an example, right now it's absolute chaos because we've been in hiring mode. Like, we've got so many different things going on. Like, I ended up hiring a few people that were really not good, and it wasted me and my OBM a lot of time and a lot of stress. That's a lesson for another day, though, that I won't go into now. But thank goodness we have finally found 2 people who are so far sensational. I'm so grateful. But anyway, sorry, total tangent there. It's been very, very chaotic. And we are also in the middle of a humongous back-end overhaul for Pro Organiser Academy. And this is also nothing to do with the Space Creator, so that's like a whole other kettle of fish. But we're revamping the main website and reducing it and making it a bit more specific. And at the same time, we're moving all of the courses, programs, funnels, back-end stuff like email sequences. My God, we're moving it all onto the same platform, one of the same platforms that I have for the Space Creator. It is a gigantic operation across 2 sites with a few different people involved, obviously including me. And things only move if I make calls quickly, right? Like, it's so wild. I've got people asking me left, right, and center for stuff while I'm doing stuff, and I'm still seeing a fully booked like coaching practice of clients. So it's quite chaotic, but me and one of my assistants literally worked the entire weekend just gone, both of us on it. I wasn't expecting her to at all, but she was like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, let's go. So yeah, amazing. But I've been focusing on the things that only I can do. Also, just heads up, I didn't have Otti on the weekend, hence I worked all weekend. But I was doing the things that only I can do. So like writing new copy, emails that sit inside funnels, the messaging that actually sells, right? Like, my assistant has been doing most of the physical build and setup, pages, like settings, integrations. Although by this point, I have also done quite a lot too, because there was just so much to get done. And yeah, there's been a lot of late nights and 2 a.m. bedtimes over the past like week and a half. It's been pretty intense, but it will mean that my September, I might actually have like working hours that normal people have. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I know I said that before, but let's hope this is the last time. But the point is, I caught my perfectionism creeping in, right? And I decided I need to act like the CEO. We needed these assets live so other pieces could move, right? There were people waiting on me. Like, there's a different guy sorting out the other part of the other website because I had to outsource it. We just couldn't do it all in-house. So I made the call to just get it on there, right? In situ first, polish after. So what is smart perfectionism then? So must be perfect now, or at least very, very strong. So things like sales pages or like service pages, if you don't have any like online or virtual offers, wherever you're sending traffic to, right? Like direct traffic to. So core service or offer pages, checkout copy, the emails inside a specific sales or really important nurture email sequence, like funnel. If the wording here is off, it can literally be the difference between a sellout and a flop, or just a complete waste of time. And so those things get my attention, right? Okay, so good enough now, perfect later. So ship it so the train can actually freaking leave the station. So things like back-end automations, standard like transactional emails for automations, temporary page layouts while we migrate, minor spacing fonts on non-sales pages, nice to have, but not revenue critical or client dependent, right? So there aren't people like my clients or anyone like that waiting for it. These things can be tightened next, like later on when the dust settles. So instead of disappearing into a rabbit hole of rewriting every paragraph 20 times, I set the priorities and moved. Like, get the structure live, get the journey working end to end, and then improve. And this is exactly the discipline that most organisers need. And I'm not saying like, you know, you might not have as many moving parts as that right now. Like, obviously, like I've got a lot of stuff going on in the different things. But, and you know, if you're only seeing in-home clients right now, then you'll probably be thinking, what the hell are you talking about with a lot of this? But there are bits that deserve your perfection, but it's not your email signature spacing or whether a button is green or pink, right? It's the headline that makes your ideal client stop scrolling. It's the proof that builds the trust. It's the call to action that actually gets clicked. And by the way, copy review is one of the things I do with my one-to-one coaching clients. Like, this is where, for example, they write a sales or a service page or a launch email, and I'll spot the gaps, right? So like mixed messages or weak headlines or proof that's not standing out, missing objections, like specific language and wording that will attract the wrong type of client or buyer, which we obviously don't want. We only want to be attracting our ideal clients. Call to actions in the wrong place or none at all. Too many steps before the buy button, like, you know, all these different things. There's so many different things to think about when you're writing any kind of copy or content. And, you know, it's little tweaks from an expert eye equal big conversions. If you want that level of eyes on your copy to get more bookings or sales and the personal support to achieve your goals, you can join the waitlist for one-to-one coaching to get all the info. So the takeaway, some things do need perfecting now. Others can be good enough for today, right? So you move forward with whatever you're trying to achieve. That's not lowering your standards. That's leading your business like a CEO. Because the other thing is as well, if you don't get it out, you don't get any feedback, right? So, you know, imagine if you spent absolutely months on something and then it totally tanked. Whereas if you'd have just put it out, not quite perfect, you could have got the data from it, right? You could have seen how it performed, seen what happened, and then, you know, okay, right, let's look into this. You know, what is it that needs improving to actually make this work? Yeah. So like sometimes you just need to get things out. And this is exactly the kind of decision making I help my clients with inside Scale with Amy, because it's one thing to know you should prioritize the right things. It's a complete other thing to have someone in your corner who's actually built multiple offers, knows exactly where to put your time and when, and can save you months or, to be honest, years of trial and error. So if you're a professional organizer who doesn't want to be working in-home with clients 5 days a week until you're 65, and you want to create something that brings in income, whether you're sat at your desk, you're on holiday, or at the freaking nail salon, this is your shortcut. The waitlist is open right now, but it closes this Friday at midnight. This podcast was actually supposed to go out on Monday, and hey, today it's Wednesday. No perfection here. But you'll want to get on it because you'll get 2 days early access before I open it to the public. Last time I opened the super duper early access, like pre-sale, like 3 months ago, 5 spaces went live and 4 were gone within literally a few hours of the email going out on the first day. And all 5 spaces were gone within 3 days. This round, there are just 15 spaces because it's the first one I'm doing. It's the beta launch and it's the smallest one I'm going to do. It's also the lowest price it will ever be as well. And 6 people have already joined. One of my existing one-to-one clients pleaded with me to join after she missed the initial pre-sale. Anyway, hi, if you're listening. So all the spaces were filled. Anyway, that means there's only 9, is that my maths? Oh my God, 8 or 9 left. And I know a lot of you are watching for that email. Like a lot of you have said that you're really keen on it and that you didn't get it last time. And like you've seen me talking about it a bit on Instagram. Inside Scale with Amy, I walk you through the exact framework. It's taken me 5 years and a shitload of money, time, testing, tweaking, failed launches, and big wins to perfect. So finding your scalable offer idea that's aligned with your skills, lifestyle, and income goals, right? This is not like just a basic, just sell a course or create a PDF BS. Planning and building it, so including all the tech, the moving parts, the system, so it runs without you manually holding it all together and pulling your hair out. I've also been there. Growing your social audience and email list from day one over the full 12 weeks. In a very structured and specific way so that you actually have an audience full of ideal clients and customers to buy your offer come launch week. Because again, that's what a lot of organisers do. They just launch something without actually having done any of the back work and they wonder why it's not sold and it's really depressing. And I don't want that to happen to you. Marketing it in a way that warms people up and makes sales predictable. Launching it using a strategy that fits you. So there's various different ways to launch in terms of like a live launch. And I'm going to teach you all of this as well. So you don't have to live launch, like you can do it in a different way. And again, I walk you through all of the different ways. But if you did want a live launch, then you can do like a live masterclass or workshop or webinar, whatever you want to call it, a free training, a challenge, a behind the scenes thing, another very specific and clever lead magnet or something else entirely. So I walk you through all of that. And then selling it without the, oh yeah, okay, cool, I'll post once on Instagram and hope people buy approach that kills most offers before they ever take off. And also makes you feel so rubbish, like you feel like, oh my God, no one wants this, I'm rubbish, like why do people not buy it? And it's nothing to do with you. And 9 times out of 10, it's not actually to do with your offer. It's just how you've done everything around it, because it is very specific. Like it's not, anyway, I'll go off on another tangent otherwise. And so, it's all very, very carefully curated. It's over a specific timeline, over 12 weeks. So you know exactly what to do and when to do it. Down to literally, I mean, it's so detailed, of course, it's me, but literally down to what to post on social media every single day for 3 months, if you want to do that. You don't have to post every single day, like just a caveat. But if you do, and if you want to go absolutely all in to, get like the most insane results ever, I make it really easy for you. That level of detail and specificity, I can never say that word, is what makes this an absolute no-brainer if you want to start creating more time and money in your business and life and work more from home or wherever you want, sipping a freaking green juice in Bali, wherever. I've built 2 brands from scratch, been fully booked with in-home clients in under 12 weeks, scaled to 6 figures, stayed fully booked with one-to-one coaching clients, and created a business where my offers sell while I'm doing the nursery run or a blooming body pump class. Like, I know exactly what works in this industry because I've done it myself and I've helped other organisers do the same. So if you want to skip the guesswork, stop piecing it together from blimmin' free downloads or learning from generic online business gurus who doesn't even know a thing about decluttering, and have someone literally walk you through it every step inside a really high touch container of, not many people, so that you get the absolute maximum level of support inside a group program, right? So you just need to click the link in the show notes, join the waitlist before Friday at midnight. That's not very long. And be ready to grab your space before they're gone. And if you're just starting your organising business, then Scale with Amy probably isn't for you. But please hear me on this. You do not need the fanciest systems when you first get started. You do not need the most expensive website. You don't need to pay someone 2, 3, 4 grand, whatever it is, to build a sensational website straight away. And you don't need everything to be perfect before you start. 5 years in, I'm still updating and improving things. I still have pages on my website that I know aren't quite right. Well, actually, some are very not right, hence the upgrade. Systems I'm refining and processes that could still be a bit smoother, which hopefully by the end of August, they all will be. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But in the meantime, I've been fully booked. I've helped my clients create sensational results and hit my income goals, all whilst creating tons of free content to help even more people declutter their lives and level up their businesses. Why? Because I'm mostly focused on the right things at the right time. And if I hadn't have chosen to run and grow 2 very busy businesses at the same time, I'd have tons of free time. So if you're listening to this thinking, I really want to be an organizer, but I do not want to work as much as you, Amy, then don't fear. Seriously. It's just because I have double the workload that anyone else would have. Anyway, the fastest way to get fully booked isn't obsessing over your logo or spending 3 weeks choosing the perfect font for your client intake form. It's taking consistent daily action to get in front of your ideal clients, even when it feels very uncomfortable at first, because it does. Managing your mindset, so important. Oh my God. So that you're not secretly sabotaging yourself with, oh, it'll never work, or I'm not ready yet, or, oh, I can't afford this, or, whatever it is. It's all like, you've got to be on top of your mindset. And that's another thing I help my one-to-one coaching clients with. Well, actually, all of my clients, to be honest. I include serious like mindset and self-concept work in all of my programs because it's so important. But anyway, knowing when good enough really is enough and moving straight on to the next activity that will actually bring in revenue. I've seen too many organisers spend months faffing about with their website before they've literally even booked one paying client. And the truth is, your first client doesn't actually care if your website is a bit of a work in progress. Like I said, a lot of people's attention to detail isn't, like up there. They care about how you help them, right? And also if they can find a blinking contact button. Oh my gosh, some of the websites I've seen, the user journey is wild. Like, please make sure you've got enough call to action buttons on your website. And if you're brand new and thinking, but Amy, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm not set up properly yet or at all, and I'm worried I'll miss something important. That's exactly why I created Organiser Business Blueprint. It's my other live group program where I walk you through setting up your business efficiently and profitably from the start, legally, practically, technically, strategically, everythingly, literally no stone unturned should be my tagline. You'll leave knowing that you're not just winging it, you'll have a complete professional business ready to attract and book paying clients to get an ROI ASAP. So, my dear fellow perfectionists, take this as your official permission slip to stop polishing and start freaking posting. You don't need to have it all figured out before you put yourself out there. You do need to take action that gets you seen, trusted, and booked. Perfect won't get you fully booked, but consistent strategic action and learning when you've done things, like looking at the data, seeing what's working, seeing what's not, and, changing things will. And if you want weekly business advice and mindset and accountability and motivation, all the things, then click the link to join my free newsletter in the show notes below. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the new podcast. If you did, please come and tell me on Instagram. Send me a DM to @ProOrganiser Academy. That's the best one. My Amy the Space Creator DMs get wild and I cannot keep on top of them. To tell me your favorite takeaway or tag me in your stories to let others know about the new podcast. I would be so grateful, and tell them that they have access to even more support and I will reshare it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode of Permission to Organise. Have a gorgeous week.